All right. Big time college basketball game. Ton of respect for Pat, their staff, their team. For us, they're as explosive as any offense we played this season. No question about it. Um, and the game really came down to, I think our defense in the second half was terrific. I didn't have them prepared the way I would have liked in that first half. You got to tip your cap to Khalifa, hitting those 4 threes. I thought actually at halftime we felt pretty good despite the score. He hits those threes. I thought we were a little sped up on offense. Uh, Cam Boozer, what he's doing is unbelievable. His control over the game. I thought it was his best defensive game. Offensively, his efficiency, his ability to make others better. He just in that first half he settled us. If he didn't do that, it could have gone out of hand. And then the second half, I could talk about a bunch of different guys. Caleb Foster, man, what he did, controlling the game, getting downhill, making the right play. Dame Sarr's defense, Conwell's a terrific player. And Dame, I think, was an example of impacting the game with not really scoring. And then, Isaiah, doing what Isaiah does. And I thought Malik Brown really came through for us, in that second half with his defense activity and deflection. So, again, credit to Louisville for putting us on our heels in the first half. Really proud of this win. And with that, any questions?
Start over here. You mentioned Cam settled. What makes him good at that? I guess how much of that is just how he plays the game, how much of it is what he does vocally? Like what does he do to you settle you guys? I guess how advanced is he for being professional?
I think the first thing in order, I've been fortunate to see a lot of special players here. The special guys, man, they live it. He lives it. Over Christmas break, he wasn't relaxing. He was working out, training every day. He's watching film. He's consumed by it. And so I think that makes him incredibly prepared, and that makes him incredibly confident, in these situations. And then I think for him, he just understands what the game requires. Some games is more. He had 9 assists last game for us. This game, again, he has 27, 8, and 4. And again, the defense was terrific. So I think it's those two things that really allow him to make such an impact. Just his love for the game, his preparation, and then his ability to feel what's required.
John, you mentioned Sarge defense on Conwell. What specifically did you guys do defensively in that second half to hold them to?
Well, I'm sure we'll look back and see that, they missed some shots, no question. But I think overall, with a guy like him, you want to make him work for him. And I think the first 2 threes he hit were pretty clean looks. And so that wasn't good. That was on me, not our guys. That was on me. But I thought just the fight, the discipline to make him score over the top. We switched up a ton this game in terms of coverages and all that. But I think it was more about the fight and the effort by Dame, by Caleb, by Isaiah in that second half to really guard.
Yeah, you mentioned Caleb and the impact he had on the game. There's been a number of games this year where it seems like he will really make a tough shot for you, or just that toughness will come to back into the play.
Yeah, I mean, some of our closest games this year, he's put us over the hump. And with really good athleticism on the floor, his ability to create offense for us is key. And then I thought his defense was really good too. Just again, he guarded Conwell a lot, McNeely, these other guys. So I think that's really important. The fact that you have a two-way guy who's experienced, he's been in these moments, and he was so poised, the whole way.
Cam, Isaiah, and obviously tonight. You just talked about how big it is to have different guys that are able to step up on different nights. And with Caleb, was there anything, said, what do you think led to that second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think just for him playing instinctually, that was a big thing. And, I think for us, Cam's had a terrific year. I think what Isaiah has done these last couple of games with being such a weapon and us trying to find him in different spots has been important. But we need others to step up and be offensive weapons. And Caleb is clearly a guy for that. I mean, he's scored. I've seen him do that for years, and I think he's finding out just that confidence in any moment he can do that here, and he really controlled the game tonight.
a little more on Caleb. I'm wondering if you can talk about how over the last 3 years his role has evolved among his teammates, especially with him having.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting, right? It's been an interesting ride. And, I think I just hope he's celebrated because this kind of ride doesn't happen anymore in college. And it hasn't gone smoothly or the best all the time. There's been some really great moments still, though. And I think for him, he believes, and I believe the best is yet to come. And his commitment to Duke, his commitment to our team should be really celebrated. And I think it's really what college basketball should be all about, too.
Coach, it really seemed like in the second half you wanted to lean into this athleticism. It shot 17 threes in the first half, only 6 in the second half, really looked to get down. What was kind of the conversation with your guys offensively?
Well, I feel we're an inside-out team. I think that's how our team has been built. I think we were capable of having big-time shooting games as well. But I think some of the threes came pretty rushed in that first half. And you can get caught up with how fast they play. They do a great job, with their identity and who they are. And I thought for us, once we just settled down, took better care of the ball, and I thought fought for great shots, playing inside out, really good things happened.
Interesting, like, Mission Camp was a really like a stabilizer a little bit, calming you guys down. Just how rare is that for a freshman? And what about his temperament allows him to succeed in an environment like this?
He never changes. He's the same way. If you looked at his face when we're down 10 in the first half versus the second half when we got a lead, he just has a competitive spirit, playing every play. I think a great player too, something we've talked about. He's playing a lot of minutes, and he's playing more minutes than there even is in a high school game. And so, great players don't get tired. And for him, he's in there a lot. And I thought he did a great job of playing through fatigue. He did a great job with his defense. And then the way he controls the boards, the way he, makes, others better with his passing. It's just a big-time performance.
Go here, and then the last one right next.
Jon,
Gotcha.
you said that you guys switched up tonight. How much of the last couple of weeks you guys have been trying to
Yeah, it's we've gone through it. And as a coach, you balance coverages, schemes with habits, and that's where we've really tried to just focus. We'll be at our best if our habits and fundamentals are there by the end of the season. And so for us, yesterday we're doing kind of basic, defensive drills in terms of just getting our habits back, guarding the ball and moving as the ball moves and being in a stance. And this is a time of year you have to understand who you're playing, and everybody can hurt you, but there's a game plan and the ability to execute that. So for us, did some things I didn't like tonight in terms of, for me. And then we did some things I thought in the second half that was Duke defense. And so how can we build from that and be true to who we are and what's made us really good so far?
Last one, yeah.
Coach, I want to ask about Cameron and Isaiah. When they play together, you can tell that they're almost in sync, especially in the pick and roll on the wings. Speak to what you see when they play on the floor together and how they sort of balance each other out.
Well, I see two guys that are really competitive. That's the first thing. And then their skill sets complement one another. Isaiah is such a weapon with his shooting ability, so that gives Cam space. Isaiah's a great cutter, great mover, which also helps Cam. And then Cam's such a great passer, so he can find Isaiah. And I think the thing that we found is the different guys that can be screeners too. We screen with everybody, and I think that's opened up a lot for our offense. And Cam and Isaiah are such targets when they screen that helps everybody else too.
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys.